خسرتش حاجة أبدا الدنيا لقيتها قصادي عشتها عشان ما اختارش فيها عملت قلبي ميت.
Hi, hello, welcome back. This trip happened last year during the last days of Ramadan. And yes, I know I have been super inactive and I didn't post about it. But some trips are meant to be lived first, shared later. So here we are. As Ramadan came to an end, we packed our bags and set off on a road trip to Muscat, crossing the Hatta border and chasing the calm we had been craving for weeks. This trip was very special because the next morning was Eid. There's something surreal about waking up in a new city on Eid morning. The quiet streets, the crisp air, and the feeling of stepping into a fresh start. And for us, it began at the Sultan Qaboos Grand Mosque in Muscat. We didn't film, we didn't document, we just stood there, offering our prayers, taking in the moment. Sometimes the most beautiful experiences don't need a camera. Leaving Sharjah behind, the open road stretched ahead, quiet and endless. The drive was smooth, scenic, and exactly what we needed. As the last fast of Ramadan came to an end, hunger kicked in. We made a quick stop at a gas station, nothing fancy, just a simple meal to break our fast, and then kept going, inching closer to Muscat. Our first stop was Mutrah Souq. The second we stepped inside, the air changed, thick with the scent of oud and spices. The narrow alleys were alive with traders selling silver jewelry, handcrafts, and vibrant textiles. It was a blend of the old and the new, where time felt slower and tradition still thrived. Right outside the Mutrah Souq is Mutrah Corniche, stretched along the water, the sea shimmering under the soft evening lights. We stood there for a moment, just breathing it all in, the views, the breeze, the feeling of being somewhere new. Muscat is a city that effortlessly blends history and modernity. We drove past the Al Alam Palace, its stunning dome and gold facade standing regal. A quick stop at the Al Zawawi Mosque and the Royal Opera House reminded us just how much beauty the city holds, not just in its architecture, but in the stories behind each place. The Royal Opera House, grand, elegant, and the kind of place that makes you appreciate craftsmanship. It was almost evening, and by now food was the only thing on our minds, and Rosna restaurant was exactly what we needed. Designed like a traditional fort, it felt like stepping into another era. The warm glow of lanterns, the aroma of sizzling grills, and the rich flavors of Omani cuisine. This was a meal to remember. Each and every corner of this restaurant echoed their culture, traditions, and their mouth-watering cuisine. We tried some of the signature dishes, followed by lukemat, and called it a day. With our energy restored the next day, we made our way to Qantab Beach. We spent like 3 or 4 hours just watching the waves rolling in, and there were so many water activities happening. It was a very entertaining beach. Some places don't need much explanation. You just sit, watch, and let the moment sink in. Then we had our lunch, from a Ramza restaurant. It was one of another famous restaurants in Oman. It was a delicious meal. And then we continued our journey to Niswa Fort. As the sun dipped lower, we found ourselves at the fort. There's something about forts at sunset. The golden light hitting the ancient walls, the call to prayer echoing in the distance, and the quiet hum of history all around. We climbed up to the watchtower, and from there the view was something else. A city of date palms, old souqs, and endless mountains stretching into the horizon. It was the perfect way to end the evening, just standing there taking in history, the culture, and the beauty of Oman in its truest form. On the way back, we decided to stay a night in Sohar, and that's when we stumbled upon something breathtaking. The Sultan Qaboos Mosque of Sohar, also known as the Blue Mosque. This place felt magical. The intricate blue domes, the detailed carvings, the sheer tranquility. It was like stepping into a different world. We didn't rush, we just walked around, soaking in the beauty, letting the silence speak. Before heading back, there was one last thing to do. Pick up Omani halwa for our friends. If you have ever had it, you know it's not just a dessert, it's a piece of Oman itself. Rich, fragrant, infused with saffron, rose water, and nuts. It was the perfect way to take a little bit of this trip home with us. And just like that, the trip was coming to an end. The drive back felt different, not just because we were leaving, but because we were taking something with us. A reminder that sometimes the best moments come from simply stepping away, hitting the road, and letting the journey unfold. This was one of those trips, and something tells me we will be back.